Have you ever seen a candy bowl that just never runs out? Like, year after year, it's always sitting on the same porch, full of candy, no matter what? I'm Chris. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Illinois, the kind where life is simple and predictable. Mornings start with birds chirping, you can smell fresh-cut grass in the air, and by evening, there's this calm stillness that settles over the whole street. Every house looks kind of the same. White fences, trimmed hedges, neatly painted mailboxes with family names on them. Neighbors know each other, but no one really gets in anyone's business. It's peaceful like that. Right across the street lived a retired couple, Mr. and Mrs. Langford. They had this warmth about them that made the whole street feel softer somehow. Every morning, they'd sit on their porch with coffee mugs, watching the sunrise. Whenever I left for work, they'd wave and smile. A small thing, but for some reason, it felt comforting. Their house was always perfect. Freshly painted shutters, bright flower beds, and this clean porch where, every Halloween, they'd put out the same ceramic pumpkin-shaped candy bowl. It had "Take One Candy" written on it. Same spot, same neatness, same kindness. That bowl felt like them. Simple, steady, and never empty. When Halloween week rolled around, the whole neighborhood came alive. Orange lights glowed on porches, fake cobwebs hung from trees, and kids ran up and down the street in their costumes, giggling and yelling trick or treat. Parents stood in their driveways with cups of cocoa, watching. I was sitting on my porch like every year, coffee in hand, just soaking in the fall night vibes. It all felt normal. Except this year, something was off. The Langfords' house, usually the most decked-out one on the street, was completely plain. No cobwebs, no lanterns, no little pumpkin candles that Mrs. Langford always lit. Their porch chairs were empty, curtains drawn tight. The only thing there was that same damn ceramic candy bowl, sitting in its usual spot, full of candy. I figured maybe they weren't feeling well or visiting family. But that bowl being there without them, it just felt wrong. Like something was sitting there that shouldn't be, yet refused to go away. The next morning was calm. Crisp fall air, leaves crunching under my shoes during my morning walk. Coffee in hand, I walked past the Langfords' place, and my eyes automatically went to the porch. The candy bowl was still there, exactly the same. Candies lined up perfectly, wrappers untouched, like no kid had even looked at it. I stopped. Usually, after Halloween, porches are a mess, wrappers scattered, bowls tipped over. But here, nothing. Not a single candy missing. Not even one. Maybe the kids skipped their house this year, I thought. Just then, a little boy rode by on a blue bike. His face looked pale, like he hadn't slept in days. His eyes were kind of glassy, distant. I thought maybe too much sugar, or he was just exhausted. But when he passed the Langfords' porch, he didn't even glance that way. Just kept pedaling faster, like he knew something was there and didn't want to see it. Curiosity got the better of me. As I walked up their porch, a chill ran down my spine, not just from the cold air, but something heavier. The bowl sat there, perfectly centered, candies gleaming like they'd just been unwrapped. I bent down and picked one up. The wrapper looked too shiny, like it had never been touched. Not a single fingerprint. I tore it open, expecting a normal chocolate. But inside, there was a tiny folded piece of paper. I unfolded it, and it said, "You shouldn't have taken it." My hand froze. The handwriting was shaky, uneven, like it had been written by someone whose hands were trembling. The ink was smudged, almost like the person had been crying or laughing while writing it. I tried to brush it off as a Halloween prank. Teens do dumb stuff like that every year. But something about the note didn't feel playful. It felt like a warning. I went back inside, but that one sentence kept echoing in my head all night. You shouldn't have taken it. Next morning, when I stepped out to grab my paper, the street was buzzing with whispers. Police cars lined up outside the Langfords' house, yellow tape across their porch. Neighbors stood around, stunned. I froze, watching from my driveway as officers moved in and out. One of my neighbors, Mrs. Green, came up to me and whispered, "You didn't hear? The Langfords, they've been gone since last Halloween." My coffee almost slipped from my hand. She told me both of them had a heart attack last Halloween night, right there on their porch, after putting out their candy bowl. The house had been sealed ever since. If the place was sealed, then who put the bowl there this year? And when police later said the porch was layered with untouched dust, no footprints, no signs of anyone entering for a whole year, that chill I'd felt before suddenly made perfect sense. Now, every year when October's last week rolls around, the whole neighborhood feels uneasy. Streets get decorated, kids laugh and run around. Lights flicker across every porch, except one. The Langford's house stays quiet. Too quiet. No footsteps, no voices, just that same ceramic pumpkin bowl sitting right there like it's always been. Every Halloween night, just before midnight, the bowl shows up again, centered perfectly, filled with fresh candies. Wrappers crisp, colors bright, a faint sweet scent floating in the air. Nobody knows where it comes from. Nobody ever sees it being placed. People stay away from that porch. Even the kids skip it now. But sometimes, a new visitor, someone who doesn't know the story, grabs a candy. And the next morning, a freshly carved pumpkin appears right in front of that house, with their name etched inside it, in perfect cursive, exactly like Mrs. Langford's handwriting. And when the next Halloween comes, the bowl is there again. Never empty. Never. Have you ever seen a house that stays completely dark all year, but suddenly lights up bright as hell only on Halloween night? I'm Evan. I live on this quiet suburban street in Boston where everyone kinda knows each other by name. Every house here looks the same. Neat lawns, trimmed hedges, and mailboxes with family names painted on them. I moved in about 4 years ago when I got my new job. My life's pretty basic. Leave for work early, get home late, eat dinner, and sit by the window with a cup of coffee before bed. Same routine every night, same calm, quiet vibe. But there's this one house on my street that's never felt normal to me. It's this old Victorian-style place at the very end. Peeling paint, cracked porch steps, and windows caked with dust. During the day, it looks abandoned, like no one's been inside for decades. It stays pitch dark all year. No lights, no movement, nothing. But every year, on October 31st, right around 11:58 p.m., the whole damn thing lights up. A warm golden glow floods through the windows. Porch lights flicker on. Even the garden looks alive again. The rest of the year it's dead, but on that one night, the house comes back to life. When the last week of October hits, the whole neighborhood gets this special kind of buzz. People decorate their yards. Pumpkins glowing from inside, orange and purple lights hanging from trees, and candy bowls sitting on every doorstep. Kids dressed up as little monsters run door to door yelling trick or treat, while parents hang out with hot cocoa in hand, laughing under the chilly Boston air. There's this cozy, nostalgic vibe to it, one night where everything feels alive. I usually get home late from work, but that night I decided to take a walk. Streetlights glowed soft yellow, laughter echoed faintly, and music drifted from the open porches. Everything felt totally normal, except for that one dark corner. The old Victorian house sat there, completely blacked out. No pumpkins, no decorations, just silence. Then, right as the clock hit 11:58 p.m., the whole house came alive. Lights flickered on, windows shimmered with this soft golden glow, like dozens of candles had lit up at once. But I didn't see any movement inside. No silhouettes, no sound, just light, like the house itself was alive, not the people inside it. The next night, on my way home, the post-Halloween silence hung heavy. Decorations were half torn down, pumpkins were starting to rot, and the streets were empty except for the sound of wind and dry leaves scraping the pavement. When I passed that same Victorian house, it was completely dark again. No glow, nothing. But one thing stopped me in my tracks, a carved pumpkin sitting right on the porch. I stepped closer and flashed my phone light on it. The pumpkin looked freshly carved, the inside still moist, and the candle wax soft and half melted. That didn't make sense. Halloween was yesterday. Everyone had already cleaned up. So who put it there? Curiosity kicked in. I realized I'd never really paid attention to that place before, not in daylight, not at night. People around here never talk about it either. Some say it's abandoned. Some say an old couple used to live there, but no one really knows for sure. That night, I got this weird urge. I set my phone up facing the house and hit record before going to bed. I just wanted to see if those lights came on again. Next morning, I grabbed my phone and started watching the footage. At first, everything looked totally normal. Quiet street, light fog, the orange street light glowing faintly in the distance. I could hear the soft hiss of wind, and the camera shook a little, like the breeze brushed against it. For hours, nothing happened. Just silence. Then, right when the clock hit 11:58 p.m., the screen flickered, just for a split second. I almost missed it. I rewound and paused, and that's when I froze. For that one flicker, there was a face in the window. At first, I thought it was a glitch, but when I zoomed in, I realized it was my face. Same hair, same jacket I wore that night, same tired look, except the face in the reflection looked completely blank. No emotion, like a photograph of me, not me. And in that reflection, I was holding a candle, a small one, flames steady and calm, like whoever that was watching me through the screen. I paused the video and zoomed in again. Maybe it was just lighting or some weird glare off the glass. But the more I zoomed, the clearer it got. That was me in the window. Same eyes, same little scar near my eyebrow. But it couldn't be. I was home that night. The camera was across the street. Then I noticed something else. The candle in that reflection cast a faint shadow behind it. At first, it was blurry, but when I looked closer, I saw it clearly. A taller figure standing right behind me. Its shape was off, stretched somehow, like it wasn't supposed to exist in that space. My whole body went cold. On the video, I saw a faint flicker, a flash of light in my own window, the same kind of golden flicker I'd seen in the footage. At first, I thought it was just a weird coincidence. But then it hit me. This wasn't a coincidence at all. It was like whatever was inside that house was now looking straight at me. That night, I deleted the footage instantly. The moment the screen went dark, the room felt still. Too still. Like even the air wasn't moving anymore. I yanked the camera off the window, slammed the curtains shut, and told myself I'd never look in that direction again. Not through the window, not through a screen, not ever. Days passed, Halloween season ended, and everything went back to normal. But that uneasy feeling? It stayed. When the next October rolled around, I tried to ignore it. Didn't decorate, didn't even glance at the calendar. But when the clock hit 11:58 p.m., something weird happened again. The lights in my room started to dim on their own. I checked the switch, everything was fine. But the brightness kept fading, like someone was slowly turning a dimmer knob. I peeked through a small gap in the curtain, and there it was. That same Victorian house, glowing in golden light. The windows shimmered, and in the glass, I saw a reflection that looked just like the one from the video. Now, every Halloween night, I close my eyes tight and remind myself. Some houses only come alive on Halloween.